I'm going to do a quick PSA, okay? Because I know that some of you are not happy with me, and so I want to give a little short explanation about the purpose of my page, okay? It's called Ask a Special Education Attorney. I'm an attorney, I'm a civil rights attorney. So, unfortunately, I know that sometimes some of you may. Um feel uncomfortable. You may even. I had a person the other day um, uh, compare my compare my post to one of the Koch brothers, or maybe both of them, and having it described as a libertarian religious diatribe, which okay, guys, that stuff just doesn't bother me. And I do understand that the topics that I've been raising lately, mostly about these mask mandates, about the schools not reopening, um, and you sit there and you go, well, why? And some of you may feel that I've devolved into this, having my page be political. Guys, everything about civil rights is the body politic. Everything about special education, about 504, about the Americans with Disabilities Act, it is all political. So it may make some of you very uncomfortable to read some of the things that I'm putting out there. And it's okay, guys. We need to get back into the habit of being able to tolerate other people's disagreements. And to have your viewpoints challenged is not an unhealthy thing. It's actually a healthy thing. And if we're expected to make progress in our society, and if we expect to sit there and solve these problems, then we need every perspective at the table. And I think that one of the negatives about social media is that we've been able to sit there and categorize our friends with whatever identities or whatever worldview that we end up having, which then sends us into this delusional state of believing that our worldview is, number one, correct, and number two, the majority position. And it's just simply not. Guys, we live in a very diverse country. And, I know that people would sit there and make an allegation or a charge toward me that, the same thing's for you. Well, no crap, guys. I am all about debate. I am all about public discussion. And I can tell you right now, in order for us to move forward in this country, we need both the conservative viewpoint and the progressive liberal viewpoint. We need both of them, guys. Any society is unhealthy moving forward with one singular viewpoint. You cannot manage a civilized country that way. You can't manage a republic that way. But that's what we're devolving into, is that, we either identify in this camp or we identify in this camp. I don't identify in either camp, guys. There are benefits to both ideologies. And I am not a one person or a two issue or a three issue kind of person. I'm just not. So there are going to be things that if you and I actually sat down and had a reasoned, lengthy discussion, you'd find that we would agree with each other a lot of times, and then not agree with each other. But on those points where we disagree, could we at least sit there and try to understand each other without trying to move into this area of making these broad accusations about me and who I am and how I think? You don't know me. But if what I'm putting on my page currently with regards to the mask mandates and the reopening of our schools, and the governmental response to this pandemic, if that is so highly offensive to you, then guys, I just recommend that in the short term, probably, the next 6 months, you might need to just leave or just scroll through, any kind of posts that I make. These are very, very important issues. Okay, so when I see articles out there where Southwest Airlines and which I used to work for, guys, a great company, worked for it for 10 years. When I decided to go back and get a law degree. And so Southwest was very good to me while I went through law school, okay? And so it was very, very disappointing to me to read a story out of Texas a few days ago to where the CEO made some smart-ass comment about their strict mask policies and booting off a 3-year-old boy because their mask mandate starts at over 2. So 2 and under, you don't have to wear one, but 3, you do. And this child has autism and 3 years old to boot. And he just couldn't wear one. So what was their decision? To turn the plane around and boot the family off. Okay, it's situations like that. Guys, that's the reason I'm doing this. And you can sit there and you can be all for masks. That's fine. Guys, I support you too. You want to wear one? Great. But to sit there and pretend as though, we live in some one-size-fits-all society and that this is just how it needs to be for everybody, I absolutely vehemently disagree with you, and I will fight you over things like that. Because, guys, we need to draw the line. When you sit there and you have this carte blanche approach to things, it is so incredibly damaging. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked by some of you guys, especially if you work in this field, if you have differentiated children. I would think that you would understand that this cannot be a one-size-fits-all issue. There needs to be exemptions. There needs to be exceptions. And so I am going to raise my voice in opposition to any attempt to make it a one-size-fits-all. Everybody has to do the same thing, because that's wrong. It's wrong. So you can disagree with me. You can not like me. All right? I'm okay with that. Okay? I am middle-aged, and I'm very, very set in, my positions. Always exploring, always testing my beliefs. Trying to read and trying to learn and trying to get better. And I'm imperfect, guys. But I can tell you, it also isn't healthy for me because it is one of my vices, guys. I love to argue. Love it. I mean, that's why I'm an attorney, right? But I love to argue. I don't have a lot of hobbies in this world, and so that's one of them. And so it's just not positive for me to have some of you want to challenge, but do it in such a way to where, I just feel like I have to respond, and I don't have to respond. Just understand why I'm doing it. I'm doing it so that we can get to the other side of this with the least amount of collateral damage to individual liberties and not scapegoating an entire vulnerable population. And that's what we're doing, guys. If you can't see it, then you're not getting out enough. Guys, we have offices in 5 states, so it's not like I'm getting some, very small perspective of what's going on around here. I'm seeing things in the West. I'm seeing it in Texas. I'm seeing it in the Deep South. We follow enough of what's going on to where I can see what's going on in other places, not to the level that I know in the states that we practice. And so what I'm saying is that we have a variety of understanding across every section of this society. Doesn't matter. We work everywhere. So when I'm coming out with these articles or these opinions or these viewpoints that I'm trying to put it out there is because I want everybody to think. Doesn't mean you have to agree with me. I never have asked you to agree with me. I'm asking you to think. I'm asking you to sit down and analyze what is going on around us so that we can sit there and take control of this situation, because you can't tell me that you feel like you're in control. That's all I'm asking. I sure as hell don't want everybody to agree with me. If you were to talk to the people who work with me, the other attorneys that work with me, you'd be shocked that I have a very, very healthy cross-section of political beliefs, religious beliefs, or non-belief. I want to be surrounded by people who don't agree with me. I want to be surrounded by people who will bring different ideas to the table. That's what I want. That's what I strive for. So this is a little insight into who I am. So just because you see James Galini's forceful opinion being, displayed on his page, don't make an assumption about who I am and how I think. Okay? I do these things in a very calculated manner, guys. I understand that everything that I put on there is public. I have my personal Facebook page as public. I understand what I'm doing. And I understand the resulting consequences of people not liking me for raising my voice and in ways that are going to make some people mad and going to make some people uncomfortable. I'm not going to apologize for that. I believe in the civil liberties, but I believe in all of our civil liberties, and I believe in all of our civil liberties applying to everybody. And I don't cherry pick it. I don't sit there and say, well, I believe in free speech, but only to this point. I believe in exceptions made, but not for these people. I don't work like that. So those of you who want to wear masks, damn it, I'll be with you. Let's fight so you can wear a mask. But for those who can't or those who don't want to, I will equally fight for their right not to. And I don't find that inconsistent at all. Okay? So, just understand, that's why I do it. It's not to sit there and be charged and intentionally try to make you guys mad. That's not why I'm doing it. I love this country. I love our liberties. I believe that the smallest minority is the individual. That if I fight for that right, for everybody's right, then it protects everybody. It protects the whole, and especially protects the most vulnerable in our population, that the majority of neurotypicals and everybody else run over all the time. So by protecting the individual, I am protecting and insulating our most vulnerable among us. And they are being absolutely trampled right now by the majority, by the neurotypicals, by a lot of you.